Pressure. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Pressure creates diamonds. That's what everybody says. Well, listen, I got 3 Minnesota Vikings players who I think are in a immense amount of pressure going into this next season. They need to step up and they need to play big. And I got 3 guys for you coming up after the intro. Anyways, listen, like the video, comment down below. It's your best way to help grow my channel before the season gets underway. I would appreciate it a lot. Helps the YouTube algorithm get my videos out to more people. So you guys just leave a comment and leave a like. And listen, hey, I'm going to be giving you guys a chance to a shout out in tomorrow's video. Leave a comment down below on who you think is under the most pressure for the Minnesota Vikings going into next season and why. It could be one of the guys I name after the intro, or it could be a guy you thunk of. Could be a guy you thought of after the fact. Listen, 3 guys on the Minnesota Vikings, immense pressure going into this next season. Let's talk about it. So my first guy, I don't really know if the center position could be under pressure, but I think this guy has been up and down for his career for the Minnesota Vikings. That's Garrett Bradbury. Listen, Bradbury, he has been great, and then he's been terrible sometimes. It's a game-to-game thing with Bradbury. And after his rookie season 2 years ago, I really was excited about Bradbury because in his rookie season, he showed glimpses of being not an elite center, but I could definitely see him being a Pro Bowl, like a border Pro Bowl center guy already in his second year. I thought he was going to take a step up because in his rookie season, some games he was here, some games he was here. It was an up and down thing with Garrett Bradbury. And I think going in the next season, he has a ton of pressure on himself. Because listen, he was a first-round draft pick. He just doesn't, to me, when I think of a first-round draft pick, you got to pop off the screen. Like, you got to be elite. And if you look at Christian Darrisaw, even, who was selected a couple picks after Bradbury, obviously in different drafts, but just Darrisaw this past year, who the Vikings took at 23rd, he looks big. He looks like a first rounder. You know what I'm saying? Like, he looks like if he puts his hands on you, you're not getting away from him, which is true about Christian Darrisaw. You don't want him to put his hands on you. But anyways, with Bradbury, I just think there's a lot of pressure on him, considering the fact that he was a first-round pick, and I don't think even Vikings fans, I don't think the people in the building are really too confident that he's going to deliver year in and year out and to kind of be our center for the future. And he's going to have a contract coming up soon. And he's going to want to get paid. It's just, listen, the Vikings can't really break the bank for especially a center, even break the bank in terms of making him a high-paid center in the NFL. He's just not there yet because of his consistency. So I think, with all that said, I think there's pressure on Bradbury this next year. Considering the whole argument, and this is the bandwagon I've been kind of pushing, is, listen, Garrett Bradbury is a good center, but a lot of centers in the NFL, it has to do a lot with their guard play. You look in Philadelphia with Jason Kelce, the center they have over there, he always had Brandon Brooks next to him. He always had really good linemen next to him. The center on the offensive line is kind of the quarterback. You know, you got to have pieces around you or else they're just going to get blown up. And it's not like Bradbury's the biggest guy, especially in the NFC North. You got Kenny Clark, Akeem Hicks. You got a bunch of these big maulers on the other side of the ball that he's got to deal with. So I just think there's pressure on Bradbury to be more consistent, and considering the fact that we got Wyatt Davis and Ezra Cleveland in year 2, we got pretty talented guards around him and pretty, honestly, talented offensive linemen around him. That's why I think Garrett Bradbury has a good amount of pressure on him to perform in this next season. All right, my second guy is honestly probably one of my favorite players on the Minnesota Vikings. That's my boy Irv Smith Jr. Irv Smith, if you guys haven't seen this offseason, he got a dietitian. I think that's pronunciation for that. Pretty much somebody to help you out with your diet and add more muscle. And he looks absolutely shredded. He looks like he was just in the gym the entire offseason, and I love it. But listen, there is pressure on him because Rudy's not here anymore. And last year I was saying, listen, this is a chance for Irv to break out. And I don't know, like injuries or maybe the Vikings just didn't use him as much as I thought they would last year, but they showed glimpses. And Irv really showed glimpses of what he could be. I remember that Seattle game. I mean, the diving catches he was having, he was just all over the field, and he's an elite pass-catching tight end. He is so good at, I mean, he can outrun a linebacker. He's too big for corners, even though he's around 6'2", 6'3". But then on the other side, his run blocking has gotten way better. And you look at Irv Smith, I think he could potentially be one of the best tight ends, like a top 10 tight end in the league. I don't think he'll ever crack that top 5, but he could definitely be a very explosive weapon for the Minnesota Vikings, and he just kind of needs to prove that to them, himself, and also Kirk. Because Kirk, look at the pass with Jordan Reed. Jordan Reed, a 6'2 tight end in Washington. Kirk went to him all the time, especially in the red zone. He loves his tight ends. I think Kirk, he almost views the tight end as his check down. And if Irv Smith can also get vertical and also be the check down for Kirk, listen, this could be a huge opportunity for Irv Smith. I don't really think the pressure on Irv Smith is because of his performance like it is Bradbury, but I think the pressure on Irv Smith is with the opportunity, because he's going to get one-on-ones the entire season. He will never get doubled the entire season, and that's credit to him right here and other guy, Adam Thielen. So listen, Irv, there's pressure on you this season. I don't think it's based off your past performances. I just think you got a boatload of talent. I just think he's one of the most talented guys in that locker room. Go prove it. Go have a year. Irv Smith, there's pressure on you this next season. All right, you also want to know who there's pressure on? And I think he's starting to take over the conversations of the Minnesota Vikings offseason. Number 99, Danielle Hunter. Listen, if you go back to have the conversations I was having just a year ago today about 9-9, we were talking about him being the depot. We were talking about him being the defensive player of the year. Now what are we talking about? We're talking about if he'll show up next week. We're talking about if he'll show up for camp. We're talking about all this other conversation that's not even about his neck either. People forget he's coming off a catastrophic neck injury that kept him out the entire season. I will pound my desk for Danielle Hunter because I absolutely love the way he plays football, but also I'll pound my desk to tell the Vikings management, Vikings fan base, can we take it easy and stop acting like he's going to be back 100%? You guys remember, Mike Zimmer, it's just a tweak. That's what he kept saying. He kept saying, it's just a tweak. It's just a tweak. He'll be fine. It's not just a tweak. He had to get surgery on his neck and shoulder area. And he's a big dude. He is 6'5", probably 260 now. That just doesn't, that combination of that injury, that size, just the athleticism from Danielle scares me. So I think there's pressure on Danielle Hunter to kind of prove to the office and prove to the fans, prove to your teammates, I'm back. I'm ready to go. I had last year off. You know, I'm ready. I'm here. You know, I've skipped the optional OTAs, but I'm here. My gut feeling is telling me this Danielle situation is going to get worse before it gets better. I'm hoping I'm wrong with that. But I think number 99, listen, man, if you are out there week 1, dominate. Dominate the Bengals. That's where the tone setter is. Show them that they should have drafted an offensive lineman. Listen, Danielle Hunter, you got some pressure on you. Listen, guys, like the video, comment down below. Best way to help me out, grow this channel. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Skol Vikes, so excited for the season. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.